course not, Solomon. I always end the race this way.
No, don't move. Let me see if you're injured.
So you're a physician now, too. Is there anything you don't know, Solomon?
I know you're too mean to be hurt by such a minor accident.
Minor accident? What's spectacular?
I thought you'd been killed. Imagine my disappointment now to see you still alive.
Don't for me! Not hurt. I won, Solomon.
Won? You have to cross the finish line to win. Look at you. You can't even walk.
I can walk.
Pick him up.
Pick him up! Great camp! The hunt is over! To Jerusalem!
You're a physician.
Physician? No, my lord. Stop. But my daughter is skillful in herbs. Many people say she has healed them.
What is your name?
I am Azarel ben Asaph from Jaffa. I traveled to Jerusalem to sell salt fish. This is my daughter. If we can be of any help, my lord.
What is her name?
She is called Abishag.
And she has healing powers, you say?
Oh, she has healed many in my village, my lord.
I'm Solomon, son of King David. This is my half-brother, also King David's son. If you can help him, there'll be a handsome reward, I can assure you.
Oh, to aid the son of our great king is reward enough, my lord.
There's an oasis just there. We'll test your daughter's healing powers.
Why the fish themselves do not get sick is a great mystery to me, my lord. Do not worry, my lord. Abishag will help you, brother. Look, my wife offers you salt fish. This is my business, my lord. Here, try it. I think you'll find it pleasing.
This is good, Azarel. But how can you fish if you can't abide boats?
No, I do not fish myself, my lord. Never. I buy from the boats as they come in the evening. We work through the night to salt the fish.
Through the night?
The heat of the day. It must be fresh.
Solomon. Adonijah. Are you all right?
Your wounds.
Nearly painless. Would that I had been injured before were I to be touched by this woman. Abishai, come up. Have you ever seen such a creature? And her hands, they are touched by God. She heals just by laying on.
Perhaps you'd like to meet her father? Azarel ben Asa from Jaffa, meet the recently revived Adonijah from Jerusalem, the son of King David and Haggit.
Sir, I'd like to buy your daughter.
She's not for sale, my lord.
Then I'd like to marry her.
No, my lord.
You married?
May the king live forever. Your blessing, Father.
God bless you and keep you. God make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. God lift up his countenance to you and give you peace. So the hunt went well. Huh?
No, Father, no game was seen.
Oh, so no tales to tell them.
Oh, a tale of near death to tell.
Oh, but without the hunt?
Adonijah challenged me to a race.
Oh, an accident.
He was thrown from his chariot when it overturned.
Is he injured?
Well, that's the most interesting part. He was hurt badly. He was cut, broken. He passed out and we were rushing him here to the court physicians. But on the way, we met an old merchant and his family.
Oh.
A dealer in salt fish, oh illustrious one. Though never have I set foot on a boat myself. The motion, great one, it brings on the sickness. Why the fish themselves are not sick is a mystery to me, my lord.
But then his daughter, a great beauty, took Adonijah into their tent, and within an hour he was nearly whole. An amazing cure.
How?
Herbs and a knowledge of nature, she says.
Well, bring her to me, Solomon. Perhaps she can do something with this old body.
I will.
Solomon, let me approach her.
Who?
The girl. The beauty you promised to our father.
Ulysses.
I must have her, Solomon. Let me bring her to the palace.
The king commanded me.
Favor, I beg of you. Solomon.
Yes, all right.
Thank you, Solomon.
Acknowledge them. Give you their cheering.
Is it wise to be seen riding together, Joab?
What could be more natural? You take an interest in the army, so you ride with the general in command. But much more important,
Yes.
it shows that the army is behind you. Solomon's a weakling.
You speak harshly of my brother.
Half-brother. With him on the throne, this country will fall apart within 5 years.
Or Bathsheba would rule.
Solomon's mother's not as strong as she would like to think.
Stronger than her son.
So's my eunuch. And Bathsheba doesn't understand that Israel's strength lies in the fighting men. You do, so the army's behind you. And look at the people, they love you. You're the image of what a prince should be. And when the time comes, and I think it will not be long, we must strike. Then the throne of Israel is yours. Now, where do we find this young woman you lust after?
You wait. You see.
Make way! Make way! I'm Joab, General in charge of the armed forces of Israel. You're commanded to present yourself and your daughter at the court of King David.
arise. You are in no danger. I am Bathsheba, wife of King David, mother of Solomon. He tells me your daughter heals wounds. Is that true?
It is quite true, my queen.
I'm not a queen. He flatters me because he thinks it will be to his benefit. What's your name?
He is Azarel ben Asap of Joppa, a seller of salt fish. And this is his daughter Abishag.
Come here, child. You're beautiful. So you're skilled in herbs?
I have some knowledge, Majesty.
It is our wish that your daughter remains here to nurse the king. General Joab, I'm thankful for your interest in bringing this girl here. You may go now.
As you wish.
You may all go. Azarel, come here. What I am about to tell you is vital information, worth much to the king's enemies. You love the king?
Israel exists only because of King David, for God loves him.
But the king's life is drawing to its close. Israel is divided, and only King David can bring us all together. That's why I want your daughter to use all her power to bring back the health of King David. And I promise that when she will leave, she will take with her a dowry fit for a queen. And she will be as pure as she is today.
It shall be as you wish.
Good. So, my dear, we'll prepare you to meet the king.
David is dying. Our king is dying. He will not survive. And when he dies, who are they going to put on the throne?
Solomon.
Solomon. And you know as well as I do, our kingdom will be lost with him on the throne.
You know that's treason you're talking.
Treason? It's our duty to consider the succession.
But it is the king's will that Solomon succeed him.
But is it God's will, Abiathar?
Joab, God's will and King David's will are one and the same.
Is it God's will that his kingdom be governed by a weak man, without ambition for himself or his people? Of course, as priests, I look to you for guidance in these matters.
And the army?
Well, naturally, they'll follow your lead.
And yours, General Joab.
Adonijah should be, must be, our new king. But he cannot, will not, unless you, his newly elected high priest, anoint him.
High priest?
Of course. Let me explain. It is essential that Adonijah be crowned before David.
Abishag.
Well, come closer. Come closer. There's no need to fear me. Oh, she makes me wish I were young again. But then, my dearest, so do you. Do you sing, child?
A little, my Lord King. Play for your king.
All is prepared for tomorrow at the stones of Hellas near Enrigal. I'll send a company there with food and wine enough to feast 1,000.
And the priests.
Abiathur's riding there even now.
It has come to pass.
In the morning, I'll spread the word through the marketplace. This time tomorrow, Adonijah, you will be king of Israel. Long live the king.
Joab?
My lord.
Oh, Joab. Come here.
You summoned me, my lord.
I'm troubled, Joab.
By what?
Memories. Memories trouble old men.
Your memories should be of battles won for God. Kingdoms established in his name.
God's own words trouble me, Joab. Now therefore the sword shall never depart from this house. Do you remember those words?
Yes. But that was a long time ago.
Do you remember the rest of what God said to me?
No.
No. You were there with me. So I will raise up troubles against you within your own house, he said. Within your own house. Because of our conspiracy, Joab.
That was a long time ago.
Well,
You paid a dear price. Your firstborn died.
Bathsheba. I gave her another child, Solomon.
Yes, of course.
He will reign when I die, of course.
Of course.
It is God's will.
Of course.
God's will.
Of course.
What's going on?
Haven't you heard? They are anointing the new king at the Storzone. Food and drink for everyone.
New king?
Adonijah.
Adonijah?
Adonijah.
But Solomon.
Adonijah, I said. Long live the king. Don't you agree?
Long live the king.
Close up. Close. Close. Close up. Close.
Long live the king.
What do you have to report?
You will be shocked to learn. At the Stones of Hell at this very moment, Adonijah is being anointed king. Abiathar and Joab anoint him.
Thank you. God bless you.
God go with you.
One who was there has just written to tell me.
They are preparing to anoint Adonijah king.
What? Who? Joab. The army. At the altar of Stones of Hell. One who was there has just written to tell me.
And King David?
He knows nothing about it. They know he is too weak. I would never think they'd dare.
You must see the king at once.
Put the palace guard on full alert. Our lives are in danger.
Our lives? Father will annul it just because Adonijah's...
Solomon, stop being so naive. They'll cease at nothing. They've nearly got the kingdom in their grasp. But not while I'm alive. You're going to be king in spite of yourself. Try to be a man. May the king live forever.
Oh. So formal, my love. Why? What is it now?
It was always your promise to me that Solomon would be king in your place.
Yes, I made that vow.
Well, today your son Adonijah is to be anointed to be king of Israel.
What? By whose authority?
With the support of the army and much of the priesthood.
Joab?
Even so.
Joab has been loyal for 30 years.
He betrays you at this moment.
Nathan, come closer. Is this all true?
It is, my lord. He is to make sacrifices, and Abiathar will pour the holy oil. They are traveling to the altar of Stone Zoheleth at this moment.
The eyes of Israel are on you to tell them who shall be their king.
I am their king. And as I swore to you, by the Lord, the God of Israel, that your son Solomon shall succeed me as king, so shall I swear today. Zadok, does he remain loyal?
He does, and many other priests.
And the palace guard.
Good. Nathan, take Zadok, and the other loyal priests, and the palace guard. Have Solomon ride on a donkey from my stables. Not a horse, on my donkey. Bring him down to Gihon. And there let Zadok anoint him king over all Israel. This is my will.
My king.
are a witness to history, my wife. Today, God decides who is to lead his people. 2 men are claiming the throne, but I, for one, will follow the choice of King David.
Adonijah approach to be anointed king.
Solomon is being crowned king! Stop him! Stop him! What is the meaning of this? Hear me! Wait!
Bring him forward!
Wait! Hear me! I saw them leave the city! They're going to anoint Solomon king!
You lie! It's not true! I am anointed by God!
Listen! It's true! You can see the procession from that ridge! Solomon is being anointed king by a decree from King David himself! I'll show you!
Stop!
Come on!
Wait! Stop!
Come!
I am your king! I command you to stop!
That is the palace guard.
And Zadok, and Nathan the prophet.
They would act only on the word of King David.
We've been lied to.
This is no king.
Treason. That's what it is. I want no part of it.
King, appointed by God, I command you to stop! Joab, stop them!
How?
Use your army!
To do what? The people fear God more than they do the army.
Joab!
We lost. We moved too soon. Bathsheba beat us.
Too soon.
Lost. You've killed us!
Probably. I think that's not the only sacrificial blood that will be shed this day.
What's this? I will not leave this place. Go and tell Solomon. I will not leave this place till he swears he will not kill me.
Adonijah, calm down.
Do as I say!
As you wish, Your Majesty.
You have proven your courage once again by delivering yourself to this court.
As always, I serve my king.
Not always, Joab. You killed Absalom, my son.
Because he rose against you, my lord.
I commanded he be dealt with gently. You struck him down!
In a victory for your armies, my lord.
Oh, you have risen against me.
No, my lord, never! Against these, yes! But not against my king.
Then bow to your king. King Solomon.
As long as you live, Father, there is only one king in this land.
The penalty for your actions is death. Wait. My judgment is this. While I live, you live. When I'm dead, your life is in the hands of your new king. You're dismissed from your command. You're banished from Jerusalem.
Thank you, my lord. As always, your judgment is full of compassion. Your Majesty, I meant you no harm.
What of Adonijah, General?
He clings to the holy altar, my lord, holding the sanctuary.
Why didn't you strike him down, General?
He is your son, my king.
And now, Adonijah. What of him?
It is as you wish, Father.
He's also my son, Solomon. I cannot be impartial in my judgment. It was you he sought to harm. You must judge him.
He is guilty of treason. The penalty is death.
I meant to no harm! I swear it! I swear it! I beg of you, spare me my life for the love you once bore me! Solomon! Solomon!
Our father showed mercy to Joab. I shall do no less for you. If you prove a loyal and worthy man, not one of your hairs shall fall to the ground. But if treachery is found in you, you shall die.
My brothers and my people, hear me. I had planned to build a house of rest for the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord. But God said to me, you shall not build a house for my name, for you are a warrior, you have shed blood. It is your son, Solomon, who shall build my house and my courts. Solomon, my son, know the God of your father and serve him well, with a single mind and willing heart. For the Lord has chosen you to build a house as a sanctuary. Be strong and obey. These are the plans. for the vestibules, treasuries, upper rooms, and inner chambers, and all that God wishes for his house, as given to me. My son is young and inexperienced. His task is great, as this shall not be a temple for mortals, but for the Lord. But I have provided, as far as I was able, bringing give to my God. And I ask you to do the same. For this shall be the house of the Lord. Bless the Lord our God. Bless the Lord our God. Solomon, remember Solomon. The king must be strong. If someone bars your way, it threatens not just you, but the good of the kingdom as a whole. You must cut him down, like wheat. Can you do that?
I can, Father.
You should never have granted the life of Joab. He served me well, but he has served you badly. When I'm dead, kill him. Just kill him. Kill him. If he plots with Adonijah, kill them both. Kill him. You must now be king, Solomon. King.
King Solomon.
King Solomon. King Solomon. King Solomon. King Solomon. King Solomon. King Solomon. King Solomon. King Solomon. King Solomon. King Solomon. King Solomon. King Solomon.
Abiathar!
Joab!
So this is what you do in exile?
Yes, I've become a farmer. Long live our glorious king.
May he reign for at least another day.
Come. Let me offer you some wine.
Good.
There's talk of Solomon building a temple.
I've heard so. I should preside as high priest when it's finished.
You may yet.
How? Solomon put that ancient fossil Zadok in my place.
Well, we simply struck too soon. Should have known. Well, David's still alive. But our time will come. The moment he dies. Solomon, the king. If I'd have been in his place, we'd both be dead men.
And who will you put in Solomon's place?
Adonijah, of course.
Adonijah? I thought you despised his cowardice at the altar.
Even cowards can be useful at the right moment.
Did you tell yourself a joke?
For some reason, a song keeps coming into my head.
A song?
Yes. Remember, I once wrote a song to the Lord on the day we were delivered from Saul.
Of course, everyone knows it.
For the waves of death encompassed me. The torrents of perdition assailed me. The cords of Sheol entangled me. The snares of death confronted me.
So?
It's so dramatic. Torrents, snares, waves. Death is not like that at all.
It was when we were young.
Yes. Now it's whispers, not waves. Soft currents, not torrents. And very visible inclines, not snares.
Don't talk about death.
The decree from of old is, thou must surely die.
And kings surely must have many wives. But we must not talk about them.
Like flourishing leaves on a spreading tree, which sheds some and puts forth others. So are the generations of flesh and blood. One dies, another is born. Every new creature decays and ceases to exist.
Talk of death to your other wives. I'm only interested in your beauty and your wealth.
Oh. But Siba, do you know what I fear from death most of all?
What?
The absence of you.
You'll never have her now, Joanne. She has status now. She's no longer the daughter of a simple saltfish dealer. She was the favorite of our greatest king.
I know this. I know this.
When she's passed along to Solomon, he'll have her.
Give me peace, Joab. What do you want me to do?
I want you to be king.
Solomon is king.
Well, only till you wrench the crown from his feeble grasp. David is dead. That leaves only one power in the palace.
Bathsheba.
Bathsheba. But first we must show the people that she no longer has a firm hand on the throne.
How?
If you could take Abishag, David's favorite, from under the nose of the new king, it would show you're still in the fight. The people would notice.
She wants me. I know she does.
Of course she does. Anyone can see that.
How should we do it?
Simple. Just ask.
Ask?
Demand. He'll want to placate you. Solomon's weak. Showing you his mercy so that you'll join his allies. And soon you will have
Abishag.
the throne.
Thank you for granting me this audience.
Do you come in peace?
In peace. May I speak openly with you?
Go on.
You know the kingdom was mine, and all of Israel expected me to reign. But things change, and the kingdom has fallen to my brother.
For it was his, from the Lord.
So now I have one request to make of you. Please do not refuse me.
Go on.
Please ask Solomon, King Solomon, for he will not refuse you, to give me Abishag as my wife.
Men. This is all you want? Very well. I will speak to the king. Adonijah, the kingdom was never yours. It was always, and will always be, mine.
God of my father and my father's father, give me strength and courage that I may be worthy of this honorable duty and serve you well. For I am weak. And fearful. Forgive me, Father. I do not deserve your throne. But now I must be king, as you commanded.
May the king live forever.
Oh, Mother. Please, take. Bring a chair for my mother!
The ruler of Israel bows to no one, Solomon.
Yes, I can see that. Come, Mother, don't be humble.
Take your rightful place. Thank you for putting me here, Mother.
I didn't put you here, Solomon.
Of course you did. But now that I am here, I will deserve it. By God and all his glory, I will fulfill the destiny of Israel.
I have a request to make. Do not refuse me.
Make your request, my mother, for you know that I will not refuse you.
Give Abishag to your brother as his wife.
And why do you ask this for Adonijah?
Because he came as a request. I tell you, so you may know his mind.
His mind is to have the throne.
Good, my son.
And so he begins again. First he asks for this maiden. Then next he will ask for the kingdom. For he knows that any show of weakness on my part will be a demonstration of his power.
Joab is near to that.
Now, therefore, as the Lord lives, who has established me and placed me on this throne of my father David, today, Adonijah and Joab must die.
As a traitor.
Ordered you to kill him!
But my Lord King, he has taken sanctuary. Even now he's in the Holy Tabernacle clinging to the altar.
I don't care where he is. Strike him down.
Joab, it's by command of the king. You are to die. The king commands you come out, Joab.
No. I'll die here.
I beg you, don't make me kill you there. I would commit sacrilege.
What you cannot. Dare not, Benaiah. I'm not ready to die. Listen to me!
You know as well as I there's not a man in Israel fit to rule in the place of King David. Did you think I believed Adonijah could truly be a king? He was but a pawn. The people's favorite, oh yes. But ruler of Israel? And Solomon, that weakling, to rule over God's chosen people? No. Benaiah, the only real power to rule lies in the army. Only the army can save our nation. Let Solomon remain king, yes, but grant me my life, and together we will have the power. Israel needs the army needs me. You and me. Together, Benaiah, we will be the real power to guarantee Israel's glory, God's glory.
But the king has commanded.
Bathsheba has commanded. Solomon's too weak. You know I'm right, Benaiah. Is the mother's command greater than the will of God? Well, my friend, will you obey the king? The king's mother? Or your God?
Mighty King, I thank you for your kindnesses to us and to our daughter. But I buy a good pearl when I can. For my daughter's future, you understand. But your bounty has far outshown their worth. Perhaps they could be used in the temple. They're poor things, I know. But I give them to you. To you, Solomon. And to the great God we all serve. The God of Israel.
I accept them with pleasure. And may God keep you all in his hands.
We go.
Now will I prepare to build your temple here at the altar of Gibeon. I'll make sacrifices, cleanse my heart, and listen.
Solomon. Enter, Solomon.
Ask what you will of me, Solomon.
I'm only a child, my lord. I do not know how to go out or come in. Grant me the wisdom and knowledge to righteously rule this great people of yours.
Because you have not asked for riches or a long life or the lives of your enemies, I give you the wisdom of a clear and discerning mind. But you must walk in my ways, keeping my statutes and my commandments.
This skirmish was simply a patrol to test our strength. Our scouts confirmed mass forces just inside the Egyptian border, which can mean only one thing. The new pharaoh Shishak prepares to invade.
Well, if we do have a war on our hands,
God be with us.
Jerusalem, the Egyptian border, Tyre. General Benaiah, I want officers to ride to every city in Israel, measuring the distance in the number of days it takes. And I want to know the strength of our army in each city. Foot soldiers, cavalry, charioteers. If we must fight, I want to know what chance we have. By royal decree from today, the kingdom of Israel and Judah will be divided into 12 provinces. I will appoint a governor over each, who will be responsible directly to me, who will administer law and order, and who will oversee the collection of taxes, which from today will be increased by 1/10. Very impressive, General Benaiah.
Yes, but they are few compared to the legions of Egypt. If they invade, there'll be many widows in Israel.
When the Egyptians advance, fall back before them. Don't fight. Let thirst in the desert do our fighting for us.
We can only fall back so far, my lord, before we must fight.
Happily, we won't have to. Your king is to be married, Benaiah. A wedding. I'm arranging to marry the daughter of the pharaoh. Let's hope she isn't ugly.
He's through!
Nathan.
So, how's married life?
Very pleasant. Very pleasant indeed. The pleasures of the body are not to be missed, Nathan.
I've chosen to concentrate on God's love, my lord.
Do you really think he meant you to deny yourself, Nathan? He made us this way, did he not? Why would he not want us to taste of the fruit?
God put many things on earth we're not to taste, my lord. If it were not so, we would not have a free will, and he would not be God, but simply the creator of blood animals.
Well, I have tasted, and I like it.
You were allowed, even required, my lord. But I warn you, be careful not to give yourself to any woman so that she gains mastery over your strength.
Oh, maybe too late, Nathan. I'm exhausted.
But I have a matter of some concern.
Speak.
It is rumored you are allowing your Egyptian wife to build a temple to Amun-Ra.
I had to, of course. It's a political marriage. It's part of the treaty. I'm not going to war over one woman's temple to a foreign god.
It's against God's law.
Does God want war, Nathan? I think not.
What of the other wives?
I haven't got any other wives.
You may eventually have many wives. You grant the same to all of them?
Nathan, the thought of having many wives is too terrifying to contemplate. I can barely satisfy this one. Nathan, I worship the one true God. He will understand even if you will not.
The king must be aware that any child from the daughter of the Pharaoh of Egypt cannot inherit the thrones of Israel and Judah.
I am perfectly aware of that, Zadok. But the council must also be aware that there are other reasons for marriage than just the begetting of heirs. I married the Pharaoh's daughter to avert war and bloodshed.
But, my lord,
Zadok, in future, be advised that I will marry to consolidate my lands and to promote trade. I will marry to ensure peace with my allies, to discomfort my enemies, and to please myself. And I assure you that I will marry to beget heirs to the throne when I am ready. Is it always like this?
Oh, I find fathers always survive the ordeal. Jewish boy.
I shall call him Rehoboam as a sign that the people of Israel shall multiply. Mother, meet the heir to the throne of David.
A boy! A
The purchaser of the horse claims he was not told of the vicious nature of the beast. Yet in the terms of the contract, he was perfectly at liberty to try the animal before offering payment or accepting delivery. The seller has the right to remain silent and let the buyer find any fault he can. It is the buyer's fault if he does not do so. Buyer must pay full price.
Thank you, Marquis. Thank you, Marquis.
Zadok, why are there so many people here today?
There is great interest in the next case, my lord. It came before the provincial governor of Gilead.
Old Ben-Gibber?
The facts are simple, but the case very complex. Your judgment is eagerly awaited. My Lord King, the facts of this case are well established and are not in dispute. The two petitioners share a house on the outskirts of Gilead, where they ply their trade as prostitutes. Some 6 months ago, one gave birth, and shortly thereafter the second did likewise. Both had boy children. This dispute arose after one of the babies died. You may each state your case.
You go first, you lying cow. Then I'll tell the truth. Well, we each have our own room.
Are you a citizen of this country? Yet you show no respect to your king. Now rise. State your name and the facts as you see them.
My name is Basma. It was just us in the house. Us and our babies. I'd gone to bed with little Joachim. That's his name. Michael! Michael is his name!
Silence!
Me and Joachim went to sleep. And I'd given him a good meal. And he was a happy little baby. Well, that pig must have rolled on her baby and killed him. Because when I woke up, there was her baby beside me. Dead. And my Joachim was gone. Liar!
Silence!
A mother knows her own baby. That is my baby!
Silence!
I'd pick him out from
1,000. What is your name?
Hannah, my lord.
Tell your story, Hannah.
It's a pack of lies. She's clumsy enough to smother her own child and thinks she can get away with claiming mine. That's my Michael. And no woman or man on earth is going to take him away from me, Your Majesty.
That is for the king to decide. Was no midwife present?
No, my lord.
Lay the child on that table. My judgment is this. Since both women claim the living child and neither claim the dead child, it is therefore fair that they should share the living child. So I will cut the child in half!
She could have it.
God bless this child. And his children's children.
And most of all, his true mother.
To the crowd and said, "It is my judgment that both women should share the child."
This is not wise. A child cannot have two mothers. They will fight and ruin its childhood.
He took the baby, laid it on a table, drew a sword from a nearby soldier, and what do you think he did?
I don't know. Killed one of the mothers?
He raised the sword over the baby and declared he was going to cut it in half.
Brilliant. When the real mother saw he was going to kill the baby, she ran forward.
And screamed for the baby to be saved.
Even if it meant giving the baby to the other woman.
Exactly, my queen.
Brilliant.
idiot who was stopping the men from working.
Rehoboam, my son, I want you to meet the man who is in charge of all the building of this magnificent temple to God. The finest architect in the world. Hiram of Naphtali. Say, rise, Hiram of Naphtali.
Rise, Hiram of Naphtali!
And accept the apology of the idiot who is stopping your men from working. Back to work, back to work. The idiot is leaving.
I'm very sorry, Your Majesty.
It is I who should apologize. I was having too much fun. Kings are not supposed to have fun. All goes well?
Yes, Your Majesty. My men work hard and your people learn fast. In a year or so, I shall be able to send some of my foremen home and they can be replaced by your men.
Excellent.
Some water?
Yes, thank you.
Your Majesty, may I be permitted a question?
Of course.
This temple, it will really be for God. God will live there.
Yes, Hiram, God will live there.
But can God live on earth?
That's an interesting question, Hiram. Can God live on earth?
Well, even heaven cannot contain God, much less this house that you are building. But God said, my name shall be there, that you may heed the prayer your servant prays towards this place. I believe God wants us to have a place to look towards. A place where we know he hears our prayers. So you must do your best work, Hiram. God has said this house shall stand forever.
Forever?
Forever.
I shall try my best, Your Majesty.
Now, who will oversee the men of Israel once your men have departed, Hiram?
Why, I shall, Your Majesty.
The men of Israel don't work well under foreign leadership. Don't be offended. They're a difficult bunch. You have an Israeli working for you who is industrious and able. One you can trust.
Jeroboam. Jeroboam!
Right. Hiram of Naphtali says that you're clever, hard-working, and able to lead men. This is true, Hiram.
It is, Your Majesty.
I'm going to take his recommendation and put you in charge of all of the laborers, starting today.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Make sure they work hard. This is God's house you're building. The temple will need musicians, of course.
Yes, my lord.
And I want only the very best, the most skilled. And I want the men who make the instruments, too.
Yes, my lord.
It will also be a school where all the arts and sciences are taught. My children!
Enough! Come and show your father what you've learned. Come on.
Every one of them says that you're an old lizard and you're not putting their child in the front row or heeding their child's particular talents.
Silence. Watch the dance.
Wives. I wish I could cut some of them in half.
You're a fool to have so many wives.
I like women, Mother.
Moses said a man shouldn't acquire many wives, or else his heart turns away.
But I'm not a man. I'm a king.
Moses was talking about a king. No, keep together. No, the left foot. I've told you and told you and told you. You do not go beyond that circle before you start to turn.
No, Mother. It's your son, Solomon.
Of course. My mind is wandering ahead of my body. Solomon, do you remember the psalm David wrote after he sinned with me? Do good to Zion in your good pleasure.
And rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. And then you will delight in the right sacrifices, burnt offerings. Then bulls will be offered on your altar.
Bulls will be offered on your altar, Solomon.
Who's there?
Can I help you, Majesty?
Did you see me fall?
Fall? No, of course not, Your Majesty.
Of course you saw me fall, but your diplomacy is appreciated. Who are you?
Jeroboam, Your Majesty. You appointed me over
Yes, I remember, over the labourers. Come and help me.
Is it permitted?
Of course it isn't permitted. If the priest catches, they'll stone us both. Now get in here. Now come and boost me up. I want to polish the eyes of the cherubim. Jeroboam, if the king wishes to polish the eyes of the cherubim, you don't question him. You help him polish the eyes of the cherubim, right?
Yes, of course.
Come on! It is one of the duties of the king to polish the eyes of the cherubim. Give me your arm. Didn't you know that? No, Your Majesty. Oh, yes. A solemn duty. But why do you have to sneak past the priest to do it? Your king is crazy, Jeroboam. But only you know this. Cut off the secret with your life.
I'm afraid it's too late, Your Majesty. The secret's out.
Let your enemies be scattered, and those that hate thee flee from before thee!
Praise the Lord God of Israel. He has kept all his promises made to the king my father. And I in turn have kept my vows both to God and to my father. The people of Israel have built this temple as a dwelling place for the God Most High and as a resting place for this holy Ark of the Covenant. It is fitting that the laws given to Moses by the Lord God himself should be kept forever in his house. Grant, Lord God, that we keep your laws and please you in all that we do, both from this day and forevermore. I pray you, look kindly on this place and make it a house of prayer for all nations and all peoples.
Why downcast? On this of all days.
It's not easy to put into words, Jeremy.
If Solomon can't, no one can.
7 years. 7 years with one object, one ambition, one dream. Now it is finished. What else is there for me to do?
I have not the wisdom to answer such a question. But my answer would be to continue to serve God.
Abishag. Abishag.
My Lord King, I don't believe it.
Please, my brother no one knew who I was. How are you?
Well, my lord.
And your parents? Are they here?
Of course. The whole world is here. Nothing would keep my father away. My husband, my 2 children, we are all here.
You're married? How wonderful.
Would you honor us with your presence?
Nothing would give me more pleasure. Where's your tent?
Here.
Oh, these are fine children. A credit to you both. I'd love to give them something, but I brought nothing with me.
Nothing, great one? Your blessing would be worth more than gold.
Dear Lord, bless these children. Keep them safe in your hands. May you prosper like your noble grandfather. And may you be as beautiful and pure in spirit as your mother. Lovely children.
Your Majesty, if I may, there is one little thing. Great King. It's hardly worth mentioning, really. The pearls I gave you.
Of course. I'm glad you asked. I had them used as the eyes of the 2 great cherubim that guard the Ark of the Covenant.
My pearls are in the temple. They look down on the Ark of God.
For all time, if God wills it.
Then I have not lived my life without purpose. I can go happily to my grave.
Azarel, will you do me a favor?
Anything in my power.
Lend me your horse until dawn. I want to ride out into the desert.
I have only a donkey outside. The horses are stabled some distance away.
The donkey will do.
A donkey? A king on a donkey?
Kings have ridden on donkeys before, Azarel, and I'm sure they will again.
Well, then he is yours. Magnificence, for as long as you wish. Keep him!
Just until dawn.
Solomon. I will grant your wish that I live in the temple you have built for me. As for you, if you follow my laws, as did your father David, then I will be with you until the end of your days. But if you turn away from me and serve other gods but me, then I will destroy the temple that you have built for me.
What are these magnificent beasts? Where are you going? Hello? Hello, may I present myself? I'm King Solomon, the King of Israel. Actually, it's true. I am the King of Israel. Where are you going?
To Jerusalem. Ride ahead and tell your king that the Queen of Sheba is coming.
Thank you. I'll be sure to tell the king.
Jeroboam. Do you think she is beautiful? I certainly hope so. You've asked me that 100 times in the last hour.
I'm King Solomon of Israel and Judah. I bid you welcome on behalf of all of my countrymen.
The fame of King Solomon has spread like a rising tide, even as far as Axum and Saba. I have crossed the desert for many months to bathe in the ocean of his wisdom, and to see his considerable skills on a donkey. I am Makeda, Queen of Sheba. They please you?
Yes, very much. We have no tradition here of dances like these. But they're beautiful.
They are yours.
Mine?
I brought them for you.
A riddle for you, Your Majesty. How can you see through sand?
You mean across sand?
No, through sand, Your Majesty. These are made from sand.
How?
Heated until it becomes liquid, then cooled into thin sheets with air from the lungs.
What is it called?
Galas, from Phoenicia. Fabric from India.
Beautiful.
Precious wood. Also from India.
It smells wonderful.
Peaches, oranges, figs. Cheese. Lentil. Millet. Fine herbs.
salt from the Dead Sea. Very good in small amounts. A deer, a roebuck, gazelle. This is game fowl. Look at those. This is my favorite. Fatted goose from Egypt. Have you ever tasted goose, Your Majesty?
Never.
Oh, you must try this. This is the sweetest thing you have ever tasted. Sugar cane from the Nile.
Very good. But not as sweet as my sugar cane.
You've tasted this before?
My country is on the Nile. It is a very long river, Your Majesty. We have grown sugar cane since the beginning of time. Shrine to Astarte?
It is.
How can this be allowed? You worship your one god.
We're a trading nation. Merchants come from all over the world. If they couldn't worship their gods, they'd go somewhere else.
How strange. Should we trade before faith?
Now you sound like my priests. Something is wrong with the food?
Nothing. Just an ant.
Just an ant? You should consider them. I've learned much from watching ants.
You watch the ants?
Oh, yes, it's fascinating. We think the lion the king among beasts, but what does he do? He finds his lair. He does not build it. And he would rather sleep while his lioness does the hunting. But the ant builds his own city. They have their ruler, their soldiers, and they all work together for the common good. Oh, we would do well to study the ants. But I wish they'd find their own food. But Joseph taught us all that forgiveness is God's way. Even if you have been wronged, you must look to God to know what he would have you do. Now, who remembers the fourth commandment? Ready, begin.
Honor thy father and mother, so that your days may be long in the land that the Lord your God has given you.
Oh, Baladon, Yohanan.
Do you know them all by name?
If I forget, their mothers soon remind me.
And they all worship your God, even though their mothers do not?
Oh, yes, especially my sons. One day I must choose a successor.
Not the eldest?
That's not our law. I was not the eldest, and my father chose me.
And I am certain that he made the right choice.
He loved my mother above all his other wives.
So love made you a king. Well, there are worse ways of choosing.
A king's heart is a stream of water in the hands of the Lord. He turns it wherever he will. The waters do not belong to you. Neither do they belong to you. They belong to God. Do I lay claim to the air you are breathing now? Is it mine since it is within my chamber? You will both lose your share of the water for 1 month. You will not be allowed to use the water for any purpose. Perhaps this will remind you to thank God for what he has given you. This case, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Keep the Lord's commandments and teachings as the apple of your eye. Train your children well, so when old they will not fail you. And he who loves discipline loves knowledge. He who hates to be rebuked is stupid. Also, those who belittle another lack sense. And the righteous know the needs of their animals. Only the wicked are cruel. The soft answer turns away wrath. The beginning of strife is like a leak of water, so stop before the argument begins. And remember, the wise man remains silent, so even fools who keep quiet can be considered wise. I have another riddle for you. What are the 8 things that the Lord hates the most?
Let me see. Hate, deceit, hypocrisy,
Haughty eyes. 2. A lying tongue. 3. Hands that shed innocent blood. 5. A heart that devises wicked plans. 6. Feet that run towards evil. 8.
The report that I heard in my own land of your accomplishments and of your wisdom was true. Not even half has been told to me. Blessed be the Lord your God, who has delighted in you and set you upon the throne of Israel.
And the reports of your beauty and grace fall far short of the truth.
Did you swim as a boy?
Yes, of course.
Do you still swim now that you're king?
Sadly, never.
Time again.
I called upon God, and the Spirit of wisdom came to me. But in you there is an understanding, clear, undefiled, plain, loving the thing that is good. See as only a woman can.
A mirror to God's goodness. You are the queen to my king. I sought you ever since I was a youth, without knowing what it was I was seeking.
Solomon, more than anything else in the world, I want to bear you a son.
Then our minds was one. More than anything else in the world, I want to marry you.
Do you imagine I haven't thought about it? Would you give up your kingdom for me?
Israel is more than a kingdom. It is a faith. It has been called by God to do great things.
Yes. I've come to realize that. Isn't the position already rather crowded?
They are nothing. You are everything.
Solomon, I cannot abandon my people forever. A crown is like a seam of gold. There are always those who seek it. One day, I will have to return.
But a boy from you, that promises us a whole year together.
You shall have your year. And I will be your wife. Yes, I will.
Oh, my love. How much better are your kisses than mine?
My lord?
Not now, Jeroboam. I'm late to meet my queen.
They sent me to speak for them.
Who sent you?
The elders, the officers of the court. They say we are friends. They say you will listen to me.
Very well. What is it?
Say it. The ship of state needs someone at the steering oar.
What does that mean, Jeroboam?
There are matters which demand your attention other than the Queen of Sheba's ties.
How dare you? No one speaks to me like that. Get out! Get out! Jeroboam! I apologize. It is too easy for a king to avoid criticism. Say your speech.
Taxes. Forced labor. The people would endure it while the temple was being built. The temple is finished. The taxes should also cease. You should show yourself in the provinces. Popularity is a fickle thing that could leave you, and finally your crown depends on the love of the people. And, may I add, on the love of God. You have served him well in the past. But is that a surety for now, for the future?
Jeroboam, listen to me. And listen to me carefully. I love her. Above duty. Above health. I choose her over light. Because the light that radiates from her never dims. She is my missing arm. No. She's my entire body. She's what I've always wanted without ever knowing my wants. She's the breath of God.
Solomon. She's a woman.
Exactly.
Feel. Oh. It's a boy. I am sure the way he kicks. Oh. He will be a great athlete.
My love, I have something to ask you, but I'm at a loss for words.
You? The wisest of the wise? Ask.
If it is a boy, I want him to be my heir. King of Israel and Judah.
But you have promised it to Rehoboam. He is to be your heir.
Unless I decide otherwise. And I do. Stay here with me. We will raise a mighty king. Strong, wise, whose voice will be heard throughout the land, proclaiming the righteousness of the Lord. I shall call you Menelik, the chosen one. Thank you, God. Thank you.
No! It's out of the question. It's outrageous that you could even contemplate such an act.
The throne is mine. I have a right to choose my successor.
No, the choice is not yours.
It must be ratified by God, through the high priest and the council.
King David chose me, above all his sons, younger or older.
He chose you, yes. But you were not made king until anointed by the high priest Zadok. Then, and only then, you became king. True?
Yes, I went through the usual formalities.
Usual formalities? You made one of the most sacred acts of our faith sound like a blessing before dinner.
She is not of our faith. I don't know who she worships, but it is not the one true God.
She wishes to embrace our faith.
You know the law. She must be one of us. Raised and born in fear of the living God.
My friend, force your will on this, and you will lose your crown. There would be a revolution.
Well,
live forever, knows the law, neither I nor any priest in Israel would dare anoint the son of the Queen of Sheba as heir. That is the holy law, and even kings must live and die by it.
That is your final word?
It is the holy law.
Don't ask.
Please stay.
To join your 700 wives?
Never.
I am the queen of my country. My son is the heir. I've been blinded by my love for you. But now they have let me see. At first I was a curiosity. Now I am a hated stranger.
Never hated.
You can rule your people, Solomon, but you cannot command them to love me or our son.
The city would be a tomb without you.
It was never possible, Solomon. Never. But I only began to live the day that I saw you on that donkey. I am King Solomon. Who are you? I am the woman who will love you forever. Our son will have a crown. He will rule my kingdom. And Solomon, I want him to rule under your God, whom I intend to be mine. When I leave, I would like to take some men learned in your faith to instruct our son.
I will do better than that, since he is to be denied his right to rule here. You and I will build a new Jerusalem, a new Israel in your land. I will send priests, architects, and settlers and soldiers, and riches enough for him to rule in splendor.
Then I will give him another name. I will call him David, in honor of your father. Drop your arms from around me.
No, I cannot.
You must. You must. If it's from you, I can never leave.
I cannot.
You are the king. You must do what God has ordained. You must give your life to your country.
You are my life.
And Israel is your country. She must come first. Put your arms from around me. And let me go.
Look at them. More gold. 600 talents around the hotel. 600? That's a whole year of taxes for the entire country. He's gone mad. You never know what a man will do when he starts thinking with his groin.
Look at them. Our finest citizens commanded to relocate.
I don't pay taxes to pour into some hole in Africa.
Why are we still paying these taxes? I thought once the temple was built...
That's why. What is this?
Gold cups! I want nothing but gold!
Gold. Good. You know why it is good, Jeroboam? Because one man goes deep into the earth to dig it up. Another man melts it to make it pure. Another shapes it into a cup, and another etches a beautiful design upon it. Why? So the king can have the very best, that is why. All is vanity.
Solomon.
All things are wearisome, Jeroboam. More than one can express. The eye is not satisfied with the seeing, the ear is not filled with the hearing, yet there is nothing new under the sun.
Solomon.
I applied my mind to seek and search out wisdom, and it is an unhappy business that God has given human beings for all his vanity.
You have acquired much wisdom, Solomon.
Much wisdom is much vexation. Those who increase in knowledge increase in sorrow.
That is not true.
No. I said to myself, come, Solomon, make a test of pleasure. Enjoy yourself. I searched with my mind how to cheer my body so that I might see what it was that mortals should do under heaven in the few days of their lives. Vanity. I made great works. I have great possessions, delights of the flesh. Whatever my eye desires, I did not keep from them. Vanity.
Solomon, you are a king to your people.
What happens to the fool will also happen to the king. All come from dust to dust, all shall return. Why then do I have to be so wise? Vanity.
You gave us the temple. Solomon,
the temple I must leave to those who come after. Who knows whether they will be wise or foolish? It is not for them, it is for me. Vanity. Jeroboam, what do mortals get from all the toil and strain? All our days are full of pain. Even at night our minds do not rest. This is also vanity.
It is God's will.
Oh, God's will. Every time a question is asked that cannot be answered, someone always says, it is God's will. I believe God's will is already written. Man has nothing to do with it. There is a season for everything and a time for every purpose under the heaven. All God's iron will. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to dance, a time to mourn. God's will. Business that God has given everyone just to keep them busy. But we cannot know God. We cannot find out what God has done from the beginning to the end. Because what is already has been. And what is to be already is. Vanity is all there is. The more words, the more vanity. The race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to the wise, nor riches to the intelligent, but time and chance happen to them all. Mere chance. Believe otherwise is vanity.
I believe in God.
Jeroboam, remember your Creator in the days of your youth, before the days of troubles come. For the years draw near faster than you think, when you will say, I have no pleasure. When strong men are bent, the golden bowl is broken and the breath returns to God who gave it. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity.
The king is here. He's here. Welcome, my husband and king.
Is the great goddess Ashtoreth answering your prayers?
She doesn't have to answer our prayers. She grants us children and cares for the spirits of our loved ones in the afterlife. They shine down on us each night.
Make an offering to the mother of us all.
No. I worship the one true God.
Make an offering for the mother of true love and your children, for the love you have shown me.
Deeply divided within myself. Solomon is my anointed king, but I worship the true God, and he will be my judge at my life's end. That is why I have come. I have seen with my own eyes our king worshipping this pagan goddess.
Oh, Jeroboam, you're not the first to tell us of these things.
There's been another ambush.
I know. The taxes from Ephraim are all stolen.
Probably by the very men who paid those taxes. Zadok men are starving. Their families are starving. They spit the king's name.
Oh, Solomon. We must convince him to lift their burden. I will have an audience with him. Meanwhile, keep good watch on him. For his own sake. And for the whole kingdom.
Without you, the river will not open. Mercifully, heal us. Oh, Mother, comfort to rest. Rule of the universe. Without you, the river will not open.
It is written, that the children of Israel should beware of marrying outside the faith. For those women will turn your heart away from the one true God.
Much is written, little is understood.
You make sacrifices to gods that all true believers know to be obscene and wicked. Great Solomon, if you persist in your worship of false gods, you will bring God's anger on your own head and unto all this land of Israel and Judah.
I study the world. It is possible to learn from the false as well as the true. God has given me the gift of wisdom, and I shall use it as I see fit. Now you stick to the tasks that God and I have given you, Zadok. And I will stick to mine. Self-righteous fools.
They know the law, and they know you are breaking it.
It was I who was given the gift of wisdom. By God himself, not those doddering old windbags.
They are God's representatives on earth.
I am God's representative on earth. I am his anointed. What business is it of theirs if I show a tolerance to foreign gods?
Building temples to them is more than showing tolerance.
What do you know? You are a laborer.
This laborer thinks you should take one of your secret walks.
On a hill, not far from my farm. You can see it from my sheep pens, and also the chimos. I keep my woman and kids inside under lock and key when they're about. Disgusting. Shouldn't be allowed. And you know who I saw up there? The king himself. Yes, it's true. With his fancy women. All over them he was. Yes, dearest. No, dearest.
They're all over the place. These altars, like a plague of boils. Let's go and pull it down.
I mean it. Who's going to stop us? Who disagree with us?
You fools!
I'm no fool.
All of you. You're all fools. Israel is surrounded by goddess worship as every other country.
And it's not only the king's wives, is it? Many other citizens make secret offerings at those same
There is
altars.
only one true God.
How do you know?
This is how I know.
Hey! What's going on? Stop it! Stop it! He's right. And you know it. Sidon, you caught your wife not 10 days ago, offering up. Yes, and I beat it out of her. She'll never worship false gods again.
The Hebrews have been worshipping the goddess Asherah for generations.
Thou shalt have no other god before me. Get out! Get out! Let's make sure. Let's knock it down. Get out!
Get out. I believe in only one God. Always will.
Carried nothing.
You carry a heavy burden of wrongs against the one true God. Because you have turned against me and not kept covenant with me, I will tear your kingdom from you and give it to your servant. For your father David's sake, while you live you shall rule, but when you die, I will divide the kingdom. I will give your son one tribe, but the rest will I tear from him. Thus speaks the Lord, your God.
Where are you going? I will have you if I want you. And I do want you.
What do you think you're doing?
Leave me alone.
Oh, my God,
You know who I am.
What are you doing?
I'm the son of the king, Rehoboam. Leave me alone.
Let him go. Who you are. Let him go, buddy.
He is who he says he is.
He insulted my daughter. I don't care who he is. He has no right.
Give him over to my care. I will see the king hears of this. I will see justice done. If you will accept this, it's fair recompense.
Thank you, my lord. You are generous, but I still think I'm ruler in my own house.
I will see that justice is done.
Solomon, you must speak with Rehoboam. He is a disgrace to you.
He's young. I was just like him at that age.
No. Where you were proud, he is arrogant. Where you were wise, he is opinionated. Where you used your powers for the common good, he abuses them. You cared about the people, he cares only for himself.
Oh, every generation thinks their sons and their daughters are worse behaved than they were. It is the way of the world.
It isn't our sons and daughters. It's you. You brought the kingdom of Israel and Judah to a pinnacle. We were the envy of the... Everything has changed! You have abandoned God, and God will abandon you. Zadok warned you on his deathbed. The priests have warned you. For all I know, God himself has warned you. And still, the false gods defile our land like the plague.
I would allow no other man to speak to me like this, Jeroboam.
Then hear me. It is not too late. You made me superintendent of the northern provinces. There is much anger there. If they should break away, it would be the end of everything. Israel would again be nothing more than a few wandering tribes.
Then I suggest you go there to rule them. Before I do something I might regret. Go, Hunt. Go.
Yes. I will go. But not to the office of your court.
Then what does this mean, Jeroboam?
It means I will not be a part of your heathen ways. I am separating myself from your government, as you have separated yourself from the one true God.
Rebellion? Is this rebellion from the man I raised from a common labourer?
Call it what you like. I cannot follow a king who does not follow his God.
I will follow any god I wish. I learn from other gods. And I will rule as my mind and my heart tell me. And I shall do it all without the hand-wringing cretins of the court. Do you hear me?
Jeroboam, come, eat. I've been waiting for you.
You know my name? Who are you?
Did the king send you? Not the king you mean. I'm Ahijah from Shiloh. I serve our God, as I know you do also. Some say I'm a prophet.
And are you?
Perhaps. Perhaps I hear God more clearly than most. Oh, I have a message for you. This is strong new cloth. Have you a knife? Good. Come. These 12 pieces of my cloak represent the 12 tribes of Israel. This is God's word to you. Solomon has broken his laws. and worship false gods. Yours not. So, thus speaks the God of Israel. He will take the kingdom away from Solomon's son, Rehoboam. Give it to you. That is the 10 tribes. Now, he will give the tribe of Judah to Rehoboam, so that his servant David will always have a lamp before him in Jerusalem. Do you understand? Good. Then I must be on my way. Keep God's law. He will keep faith with you. Come. Come. Where are you going? To deliver the last few pieces of my cloak. Come on.
God would do this.
I'm simply his messenger.
I should have you killed.
I know it is sometimes the custom to kill the messenger who bears bad news. But the messenger from God? I would think carefully.
God! Start a search. I want Jeroboam found and killed. He must not escape. 1,000 measures of gold to the man who brings me back his body. Oh, Lord, Lord.
A gift from Ahijah the Silonite. Keep that too. Now ride for Egypt. Your life is in grave danger. Stay there until you hear that Solomon is dead. Ride for your life!
My days draw to an end, and I have been a fool. Listen to me, my son, listen to me. Fear God and keep his commandments.
I understand you, Father.
Deal wisely with the tribes.
Don't worry, Father. I know how to deal with them.
No. No. No.
Well, I've come to be anointed as your king. Have you lost your tongues?
father broke God's holy law, and his punishment has fallen on his people. They groaned under Solomon's taxes. They bled under the lash of his forced labor. They will tolerate these things no longer. They want your word. There will be no more forced labor. And the taxes will be fair. Otherwise, they refuse to become your subjects.
They refuse. I will discuss these matters with my council. We meet again in 3 days.
I beg you, my lord, consider carefully. Your noble father always preferred peace to war. Of all wars that can be waged, the worst, the most bloody, is a civil war. It would be the end of the kingdom.
You are king! Any sign of weakness? If you give way to their demands, they will walk over you like cattle over a meadow. I say stand firm. Why listen to these old greybeards?
I have heard the young men of Judah. They acknowledge me king. As for you, you thought my father's yoke was heavy? Wait until you feel mine. You thought my father's tax is too high. Mine will crush you. How dare you speak out against your lawful king? My father chastised you with whips. I shall use scorpions. I am your king. This finger is thicker than my father's thigh.
That is your final word.
I have nothing more to say.
So be it. You have heard your king. Will you serve him?
No!
Then we are no longer one nation. The prophecy was true. The glory of Solomon is gone forever.
The prophecy was indeed true. Jeroboam ruled the 10 tribes of Israel. Only the tribe of Judah remained loyal to Rehoboam. But Solomon's prayer was answered. For 360 years, the temple remained a place where God and his people would come together, where he would hearken to the prayers of mankind and forgive.